Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Dr. Wajid with another interesting case on ECG interpretation. This is our case for today. This ECG has multiple important findings. So before starting the discussion, please pause your videos, note down the findings and diagnosis with yourself so that at the end of the video you can compare your findings and diagnosis with the discussion done in this ECG. Now let's begin the discussion. As you know, the first step, as always, on an ECG interpretation is assessing the rhythm. For rhythm, we look at the rhythm strip or lead 2, which is a long lead at the bottom of the ECG. Here you can see that there are upright and prominent P waves before each QRS complex. Presence of these upright and prominent P waves before each QRS complex means that this is a sinus rhythm. After the rhythm, the next thing is calculation of heart rate. For heart rate, as you know, we use the rule of 300 to calculate the heart rate. We select a QRS complex which is present on a broad vertical line, and between this QRS complex and next QRS complex we calculate the large boxes as 300, 150, 100 and 75. As you can see that the second QRS here lies between 100 and 75. So we can say that the heart rate is around 80 to 85 beats per minute. This method is not accurate method to calculate heart rate, but it can give you an idea whether the patient has a heart rate within normal limits or the patient is bradycardic or tachycardic. After the heart rate, the next thing is axis. As you know, for axis we look at lead 1 and lead AVF. Here you can see that in lead 1 the QRS complex is isoelectric, whereas the direction of QRS complex in lead AVF is upwards. It means that the vector of the current is mainly directed towards lead AVF, and lead AVF usually is placed on the foot. So we can say that the axis in this case is vertical axis. After the axis, another important findings which we can see here is that the P wave in lead 2 is broad. Normally the P wave is less than 2.5 small squares here, but here you can see that it is more than 2.5 small square wide. Similarly, in lead V1 you can see that the P wave is biphasic. This is a biphasic P wave with small initial positive portion and deep wide terminal portion. Presence of such P wave in lead 2 and lead V1 means that this is a left atrial enlargement. So presence of left atrial enlargement with our vertical axis or right axis means that there is left atrial enlargement along with possible right ventricular hypertrophy. And we know one condition which can cause LA enlargement along with raised pulmonary pressure and RV pressure overload, and that is mitral stenosis. So this patient may have underlying mitral stenosis. Next important finding is presence of deep symmetrical T wave inversions. Deep symmetrical T wave inversions from lead V1 to V6. Also, there are T-wave inversions in lead 1, AVL, and lead 2. So there are multiple differentials of deep T-wave inversions. Of course, ischemia will be at the top of the differentials along with raised intracranial pressure or even in left ventricular hypertrophy or hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. So the accurate diagnosis will depend upon the clinical presentation of the patient. Now another important finding which you can note on this ECG is that the QT interval is very prolonged. Here you can see that the QT interval is around 200, 400 and around 580 to 600 milliseconds. A quick method to assess the prolongation of QT is that you select two R waves and note down the center point between the two R waves. Suppose this is the center point between the two RR interval. If the QT interval is more than the half of the distance between two R waves, it means that there is possible QT interval prolongation. And for that, we look in detail into the duration of QT and we calculate the QT interval and we look for the causes of prolonged QT interval as it can lead to very fatal arrhythmias, prostate debones. So, to sum up the findings, we have a positive finding of vertical axis in this case along with left atrial enlargement pointing toward the possibility of mitral stenosis. Similarly, we have deep symmetrical T-wave inversions and there is a prolonged QT interval. Hopefully, you find this ECG video helpful. For more videos, kindly subscribe to our channel and stay tuned. Allah Hafiz and take care till next time.